Morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to us by Chiseled Face. This name of this one here is Santa Paula. It's got this sample by the way of Grumatorium. Got it whipped up here in my bowl. Show it to you here in just a moment. And also got the matching aftershave there. It's got a little pump action going on there. Also, the brush I'm using today is a horsehair brush. Vie Long. That's what it looks like there, all whipped up here in my wooden bowl. This one here is a walnut one. It's got grooves down inside. It's still moist, but it's not quite as wet as I normally whip it up. So we'll see how that works out this morning. Also, the shaver of the day, Jefe. This one here is an iKon single edge shaver. It's no longer in production, and this handle here is made out of copper. Came to me by the way of Metalworks, and you might see from time to time I have an uninvited visitor here. It's a fly. I haven't been able to get him to leave me alone. So anyway, usual suspects this morning is I got the Crown King alum block complete with rubber band this morning, and I also have the unscented witch hazel from Stirling that is mentholated. The Preshave routine for me normally is a hot towel to the face, and we'll go ahead and get started with the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Ice Cube pre-shave soap. And whipping this up, the scent, if you look at Santa Paula, and I know that sample, you can't really see a whole lot off of that label, but if in other words, you're looking online, you'll see I see an orange on the label, and you might think, at least per my nose, you might think you might be picking up quite a bit of an orange citrus scent, and my nose has not been picking that up. And I'm not, what helps me feel a little bit better is my nose is not the only one, from what I have read, that's not picking up the orange quite as much as what one may expect. My nose is picking up a very earthy scent. Now down below I have a description from the website about the scent, and fir is one of the scents that's in there, and I do pick up an earthy scent. That's, in other words, that's the strongest scent that my nose picks up. Now it could have an orange or a citrus scent note in there somewhere, but my nose picks up the earthy scent first, strongest, and it's the only one I pick up. When it comes to a scent like that, especially something that might be a little green, my nose will pick it up. It's what can I say? My nose is very particular about that particular scent, in other words. But it's a different kind of scent for me, especially if you're thinking you're going to get a citrus one. My nose is not picking up, I mean, even right now, my nose is picking up the earthy scent. The fir, the green, I would call it a deep green. It's not a bright green. It is a different kind of scent than what I was really expecting. After, I did read it, but it's got the citrus mentioned in there, or the orange, and you see the picture, so I was expecting to pick up more orange than what my nose is, but it's my nose, so it's not surprising by any means. Oh, I forgot to mention the blade in here is the Schick Proline. I did mention that this particular iKon single edge is no longer in production, so you'll probably have to find it by the way of buy-sell trade. And it was not, at least from what I read, not everybody particularly cared for it. Mine is supposed to be what they call a blemish. Don't know what the blemish was. The only thing that I could see that might have been considered a blemish was there was a couple of flat spots on the threads. outside that, I'm not sure what they were referring to as a blemish, and it might be kind of hard to see, but you can see the posts, the long ones, and if you can see on that camera, there's a gap there. So in other words, the base plate and the cap would move back and forth. Now when I first got this, of course I've loaded my blade a particular way, and I loaded it that way ever since I got it. So I really didn't notice that the play actually comes into effect. It affects your shave depending on how you load your blade. I was loading my blade pretty consistent that way, so I never really noticed it. But in other words, your base plate and your head would shift, and so in other words, you could just vary your shave slightly, because if you move your bottom plate out and your cap back, that gave more of a gap, I guess you might say, as opposed to moving the head and the cap the same direction, which was what I was doing. So yeah, Tony, he's not happy. He's wanting in here this morning. Tony's our German Shepherd, in case this is your first video. He's a German Shepherd. When we took him in not very long ago to get him weighed, he weighed 92 pounds. I'm pretty sure he's put on a little bit of weight since then. He's he's spoiled rotten. He's the biggest baby you'll ever see. Every once in a while you'll see a video of various dogs, and when I first took him in to have him boarded not too long ago, earlier this summer, there was another one that was how can you say, even a bigger baby than him, a Rottweiler. I mean, this Rottweiler was huge, just a big baby. I mean, he still was acting like he was a puppy, but just a really sweet dog. But when you see dogs this big and they act like that, to me it's humorous. This one here, he's expecting to be in here, and he's wanting me to be out there with him. He's a pretty good dog though, and all in all, he's just really still got some growing up to do, some maturing, but he's kind enough to let me know in the middle of the night if he's needing to go to the bathroom, and waiting is not an option. He'll sit by the door and whine quite loudly to let me know that he needs to go to the bathroom. I know most people would appreciate that out of a dog. Instead of making a mess on your carpet or otherwise. But anyway, he's going to continue until I open the door. Yeah, I see him. He's leaning up against the door right now. But this particular shaver, I guess some people may have had a kind of a love-hate relationship with it. That little bit of play, like I said, it affects your shave if you don't load your blade consistently. Do it the same way, and for me, that's what I didn't even realize there was quite the issue until I started reading more and more about it, people's experience with this particular shaver. And that might have been actually what they considered a blemish. But for me, the finish on it's just fine. There was just a couple of flat spots on the threads, the only thing I could tell. I think at that point in time, I paid, I think it was $20. I can't remember for sure. It was a while back. I'm kind of hoping that maybe one day they'll make another attempt to make a single edge, but it also probably depends on how their sales went. I don't think I would have, how can you say, given up on my... I don't know if this is the first one they made or not. It's the only one I'm aware of. I've got a link down below to their website. They have a sale going on, at least it was when I posted it, where I copied the link and checked out their website in preparations for this particular shave. And have pretty decent sell on their some of their shavers. Or if you want just a cap and head. To me, $20 it's not too terribly expensive for a cap and head like this. I mean, considering it was a blemish. At the time, I was just happy to get it because I noticed it had been out a little while, and I was kind of, how can you say, slow to pick up on it that it was available. At that price. Last time I had looked at it, in other words, it was more than what I was willing to spend on it. And Tony, it was a little bit more than what I was willing to spend on it. So when I, excuse me, accidentally ran across it at that price, I was really surprised. Because if you look at their website, they have some cap and heads. You know, they're kind of what I would consider inexpensive. They're, I mean, $20, $25 is not too terribly bad. I mean, it's not 10 or 15 like maybe what you might find at Razor Rock, you know, with some of their cap and heads. But this being a single edge, you know, I was kind of happy to pick it up at that price. Because a lot of your single edges like this will run you quite a bit more. Boy, he is being ornery this morning. Face feels pretty smooth. I don't think the Schick Proline is near as smooth of a blade as a Kai or a Super in this particular shaver, but I've used it in other shavers and got a smoother shave. Today this one here is pretty edgy. Not exactly smooth, in other words. A lot of blade feel, it seemed like this morning. Probably going to be a bit of stinging this morning. Kind of feel a spot. I think it's been trying to something trying to come up right down there all week. If you can see Tony, I mean, in other words, he's about 100 pounds. I'm pretty sure he's 100 pounds now. And because, you know, we took him to the vet and had the surgery done, so there's not any little Tonys running around. And I'm pretty sure since then he's put on close to 10 pounds, if not 10 pounds. I mean, he looked like he's put on a little bit of weight. He's just the biggest baby. Got some witch hazel here. But I wouldn't trade him for anything. He's a good dog. We were doing some reading on him. As it goes for this particular breed, they say that the females mature quicker than the males by about a year, and the time frame they expect on average for a male German Shepherd to to mature is 3 years. So we're going into the 3rd year. Here's the aftershave here. I'm going to squirt this stuff in my face, not my face, but in my hand. I don't trust myself around my face with something that squirts. Typically ends up in my eyes. Got just a little bit of stinger right there, down there, of course, but right there. Not sure what I did right there. Got it off just a tad bit. And put some more on there. Now the aftershave, what my nose is picking up, I am picking up the orange now with the aftershave. I wasn't with the soap. It was really a strong earthy scent. But with the aftershave, I am picking up the citrus, the orange. I am picking it up. Something I guess you might say to expect with the aftershave reacting differently. That's pretty nice. This is the, I guess you might say the aftershave scent is what I was expecting. I mean, I saw that the fur was there and figured my nose would pick it up, but it seemed like that was the the strongest scent and overwhelming scent was from the soap was the earthy scent, maybe from the fur. But now I definitely got the orange going on. Even now, I still smell it. Wow, that is great. Oh, okay, let me show you real quick before I forget, get sidetracked. All right, go ahead and take this apart. And you can see the opening there for the post is pretty big. Not that it matters a whole lot, because I don't think that's what they intended on keeping the alignment straight. It was those posts right there, and you can see it wiggles. There, it will move. There is, oh gosh, probably a quarter of an inch in movement, moving the head back and forth. And it might be a little less than that, but it's quite a bit of a difference. So you can understand why, you know, it could affect your shave. Got the soap in there. There we go. Now Razor Rock on the, at least I have the version 2 on the Razor Rock Black Hawk single edge. They've got 2 posts coming down that secure things in place, and there's, I mean, the wiggle is just a tiny bit, not enough to affect the shave. Not quite like this one here, so you can understand why maybe it was not quite as popular as it could have been. Had a great shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. I'll tend to Tony here. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.